Hey y'all, it's Dalanie.
And it's Katie, and this is Classically Black Podcast.
Where we talk all things classical music and being black in the profession.
With trap beats playing in the background. Hey.
Hello, is this 4th of July episode?
Is it? Yes.
It is. Oh yeah, the week of. Well, anyway. What are we talking about this week? Anything to announce?
Nope. Just trying to make it, per usual.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into the news this week, which will be quick. And it's not happy. So
perfect.
The Canadian government has imposed sanctions on a few entities, individuals, and vessels from Russia, including Valery Gergiev, who we haven't talked about in a long time because they packed him up low key.
They packed him up? For what?
Because he's a close associate of Vladimir Putin. And remember when they would that thing where they was like banning a lot of Russian people and stuff like that from just being in competition, stuff like that. They was packing him up because he's apparently for a long time been a close associate of his. Apparently the Canadian Prime Minister, he had a discussion with Zelensky, who's the president of Ukraine. Do they do presidents or prime ministers? Or I think president.
It might be president.
I'm pretty sure it's president. Yeah, because I almost said president for Canada, and I was like, nope, they don't do that. But the president of Ukraine at the G7 summit. So among the 44 individuals that had sanctions imposed upon them, Gergiev, who is in Putin's inner circle. He is right now the general director and artistic director of the Mariinsky Theater at the St. Petersburg and the Bolshoi Theater.
So what more bread do he want? He
in
the
Moscow.
Mariinsky Theater?
Because, but I think it's because stuff outside of that dried up, even though he was a...
Oh, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. He loved attention because he was doing all that toothpick stuff. Like, girl, if you don't just pick up a baton, like...
he was conducting with a toothpick?
I was like, yeah, that's how I was introduced to him.
Oh.
Conducting with a toothpick. Like, girl...
They love a little
y'all love
theatrics.
I'm sure he is underneath Putin's arm. He love a little attention.
Like, that reminds me of... Because I roll my eyes because I'm like, I know we love him and he's that girl, whatever, but that video of Leonard Bernstein doing the eyebrow conducting.
Like, girl, let's play the piece. Like, let's do the piece.
And then people was like, I was like, I understand, like, it's, whatever, but I'm like, he's not conducting. Like, he's not conducting.
And we want to keep it a buck. Like, y'all conduct the beginning in the way anyway. So, you know what? Yeah, actually, let's do eye conducting. Just stand there.
I was like, he's not conducting. And then people was like, well, this lady was in the comments, was like, well, a lot of times musicians use their body language or whatever. And I'm like,
sometimes I'll be like, do they have you on payroll?
I'm like, y'all don't know you don't know who you're talking to. Of course I know the musicians use body language. He's not conducting this orchestra. If he were to not be on that podium, they would sound the exact same as they would. Just because he's moving his eyebrows, he's going, no, like, he's not conducting. He's just not. Like, let's keep it a bean, But anyway, apparently this has been going on for years, their relationship. I think there was also a similar, I won't say similar, but when Russia invaded Ukraine, there was a picture of Anna Netrebko with some type of flag that meant something in support of Putin. I don't know the politics in Russia like that, but people were like, that kind of resurfaced when this happened. But Gergiev has had a really like concrete relationship in support of Vladimir Putin. So he's facing more consequences for that. I really hadn't heard anything about him since they packed him up the first time. Not that I pay attention to what conductors be doing really, but yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. Well, there's that. And then the next thing that happened that I just wanted to call attention to that happened in the past week. Charles Burrell, who was the first African-American musician to receive a contract with a major American orchestra, passed away earlier this month at the age of 104.
Dang!
I know. And I was like, it's so interesting because I'm like, how did I not? I didn't know about him. I thought that Henry Lewis was the first.
That's what I thought it was.
But then when it said to receive a contract, I was like, oh, maybe that's the distinction. Maybe Henry Lewis, like, he played with, but he wasn't like a for real member because yeah, this is to receive a contract with the major American orchestra. Yeah. So rest in peace to him. There's a little bit about his life I'll link so that you guys can learn more about him. But yeah, 104.
104. I eat too much mayonnaise for the little 104.
All right.
Shout out to him. Ooh, and I love a sauce. I love sauce. I love manic vegan, but you know. Ooh, and I love Oreos. So if the Lord is faithful, I'm maybe 80. Oh, would I work out? That might balance it out.
Well, anyway, that's crazy. I'm sorry, you just ruined this man's tribute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was celebrating him.
Okay, well, I will link so you guys can learn more about his celebrating is crazy. Okay.
He was 104. 104? 104?
Born in 1920. Crazy. And he was a bass player. Shout out, I was like, what's my bass player? Because Henry Lewis was a bass player too. So, period.
Wasn't Martin Luther King born like 1928?
Huh?
Wasn't Martin Luther King born like 1928 or something like that?
Something like that.
Girl.
Like, apparently he served in the Second World War.
I'm sure.
What?
Sorry. It's okay. 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 I quit.
That's not right.
Okay.
And after he got back, he was refused auditions for 4 different symphony orchestras, of course, because of racism. But in 1949, he became the first black player in a major orchestra when he was appointed to the Denver Symphony.
Denver.
Denver in 1949. It's Denver in 2025. From what I hear. But he spent a decade there before he was appointed to the San Francisco Symphony.
Okay.
Where he was also the first black player there. And then he was one of the first professors of color at the San Francisco Conservatory of Music, where he taught while he was in San Francisco. Stayed at the San Francisco Symphony for 5 years and then returned to the Denver Symphony. And he also, in addition to playing the orchestra, was also a jazz musician. He played with some famous jazz musicians such as Charlie Parker, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald. Yeah, I was gonna say
that was my girl.
Playing with Billie Holiday is crazy. But he retired in 1999 at the age of 79. We established he was 104 when he passed. You were 79 in 1999.
What he been doing since?
I was 1 in 1999.
How old? Oh, 6.
Yeah.
How old? What was he doing? He was just hanging out? Well, I saw that picture. He was smoking his cigar and playing that bass. I know that's right.
Wow.
104
years old. What a life, honestly.
Like, whoa.
Like, his family put out a statement saying Charles dedicated his life to his music and inspired the world with his bass. As one of the first African Americans to win an audition with the Major Symphony Orchestra, he opened the doors for musicians of color everywhere. While we're heartbroken by his loss, we're also thankful for his long and inspiring life. Shout out to him, for real.
That's insane. That's incredible. Like, you rest well. Like, you really did that.
Yeah. And that's like one of those, like, it's so many people that open the doors. Like, yeah, like, it's no classical black without you. That's like, crazy.
Thanks. It's been a long day.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, but seriously, thank you to him.
No, for real. I'm serious. I was serious the first time, but
I mean, yeah, but it came out in an unserious way. But y'all know who we are. Y'all know how we do.
Y'all should have went to ABC 7 first.
Right. But yeah, that's the news this week.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Well, the intermission is me as well. If y'all remember 2 weeks ago, we played Wrap It Around.
Yep.
Wrap It Around, which is where, as we generally do, we take, a lot of times on the show, we take stuff happening outside of classical music and somehow, some way, wrap it around the classical music. So 2 weeks ago, Katie challenged me with some cards, a stack of classical music related things, a stack of non-classical music related things, and I had to make them relate to each other in some way. Now it's my turn to do that to her. So here we go.
Interesting choice of words. She's gonna do it to me.
Oh my gosh. It's not even actually, I just thought of 5 random things in each category. I didn't even really try to make it hard. If it ends up being hard, that's one thing, but I don't remember where my index cards were, so you have chopped up post-it notes.
Wow.
They're bespoke.
Imported.
Huh?
Imported.
Yeah. And I remembered, I was like, I should have made them different colors, so I just wrote on the back, this is the classical music stack. I'm gonna shuffle those up. Okay. I thought of putting something trifling on here, but I was like,
God is big.
Okay. There you go.
Okay. If you heard that at home, no, you didn't. I ain't cutting it out. Okay, the classical one is Tchaikovsky, and this one is Rap Beef. Oh, period, because
that's an easy one.
Tchaik was always beefing with the girls. Wait, who did he? Well, the girls were beefing with him because they was jealous, because somebody said his stuff was trash and this and that. Somebody had went to the premiere with Tchaik, and you know what? Tchaik is a masterclass, and like, if the girls are jealous of you, you're doing good, Bookie. And also we can really zoom out and talk about how the girls be hating on Tchaik regardlessly, because everybody love a good, oh, he's doing too much, oh, this and that, oh, it's too rich, it's too lush, oh, the symphony should have been over 10 minutes ago, but y'all don't be saying nothing when from here until Kingdom Come, we can never find a downbeat from Miss Girl Debussy. We can never, Brahms loves to offset something by a freaking 16th note, girl. So I don't want to hear it. Shout out to Tchaik. Y'all rap to be worried about Tchaik and be worried about you. Yeah. Thank you.
It's funny, this was an actual episode.
It was.
That was an easy draw. I think I did 3. I think I wanted to find the thing that, because this was an actual episode we did about Rap Beef, and we did about Tchaikovsky and Brahms, because I was trying to find
Brahms was such a hater.
But what Tchaikovsky said to Brahms,
I'd have been like, yo, mama.
When he said, okay, I'm trying to find the one that starts with Herr Brahms, but I can't find the exact one, but this is a part of the quote. When he said, it angers me that this conceited mediocrity is regarded as a genius. That's what Tchaikovsky said in his diary about Brahms. He said, Brahms is a celebrity, I'm a nobody, and yet without false modesty, I tell you that I consider myself superior to Brahms. Oh, this is what it is. So what would I say to him? If I'm honest and a truthful person, then I would have to tell him this. Herr Brahms, I consider you to be a very untalented person, full of pretensions, but utterly devoid of creative inspiration. I rate you very poorly, and indeed, I simply look down upon you.
Okay, but what did Brahms do to incite that?
No, that's what is crazy. I simply look down upon you is crazy.
I said what I said. Shout out to Tchaik, because that's my girl. And also, I feel like Brahms did something too.
What I remember is that they met later after that, but that was in his diary, so I don't know if Brahms ever knew about it. But I do remember they met sometime after that and nothing really popped off. And
also, shout out to an Unproblematic King. He put that in a diary. Y'all run on social media.
Right, he didn't do that.
Right. So you know what? I said what I said. The girls and you girls love hating on Tchaik where's your violin concerto at? Thank you. Okay. My girl, Mindy Kaling, my queen, my North Star, and A2's period, because you need to be studying Mindy Kaling. Like, Mindy Kaling is just that girl. Like, who you know? Let me tell you. Let's talk about it. So Mindy Kaling, she went to freaking Dartmouth. She got her creative writing degree, and then what? She did her little play. Sorry, it's not little. She did her play. What's it called? Something in Ben. Matt and Ben. She did Matt and Ben. And then the dude who was producing The Office, hold on, it's coming to me. Michael, I'm going to come back to that. Went and saw the play in New York and was like, I know who you finna be. Went and run The Office. She was the only woman, only person of color in that writer's room. Then the Mindy Project. She always got a show. She's nice. She's kind. She's stylish. Yeah. You need to do your what? Your etudes. And you need to hop in that freaking Sev check. And you need to hop in that. And you know what I'm saying? That wolf art. Oh, if you're doing wolf art. Anything wrong with wolf art. But you know what I'm saying? Do your role etudes. And then when you're done with that, go watch Mindy Project and learn you something. Thank you. And read the memoir. I all the way through those memoirs because what? She's talented. She's funny. I learned something. I was inspired. Etudes, Mindy Kaling, in that order. Thank you. Okay. That's it?
One more?
Oh.
I think I did 3.
We have jump scare. Chamber music. Y'all know how I feel about chamber music. Because y'all be rude. And Jamaica. Chamber music and Jamaica. Oh, there's a program in Jamaica. I forgot. It's like I used to work with them a little bit, but I didn't have the capacity anymore, unfortunately. But they have like a string program at one of the colleges down there. And I'm sure by now they'd be doing chamber music because that was like a year or 2 ago they started with that. So shout out to, and they be having a band out there. He came to speak at ISBM. I just don't remember. Yeah. I just don't remember like the school, probably the University of the West Indies. I just don't remember which campus.
Classically black trip to Jamaica.
Woo! Oh, we can go on that rafting thing where the men massage your legs.
Why is that the first thing that came to mind? Your homeland. And that's what came to mind. Oh, we know when Katie go to Jamaica, her legs do not come back unrubbed.
I couldn't do that. It's too much.
They be doing too much.
Yeah. But I feel like,
but people be knowing what they doing when they be
the
they be going to do that. Like
because also like they be trying to make it seem like Jamaican men. I'm not gonna say it on the internet. Jamaican men they're men. However, like they're not barbarians, and I like let me like you know
like
they want them
going,
to do that.
They be wanting to go. It be the same stuff.
Consent is everywhere. Whether people exercise it or not, that's not the conversation. The conversation is you invite them to be doing all that.
Yeah, like it's part of the thing.
And you saw that one video on Twitter when they was.
No,
that's why I don't want to be on Twitter like that.
By the way you said that, I don't want to.
I don't be on Twitter like that no more because there's too much stuff be popping up. But y'all hunching at the thing. What you talking about? Yeah, there was a video going around on Twitter. It was hunching at the
party
river, huh?
In Jamaica?
At the river. I hope he got fired for that.
Insane.
But anyway, that was fun. Woo! And that's how we plan an episode of Classically Black.
Right. There we go.
Dropped it.
Right.
So what now? I was playing. I was playing. We talking about something very serious. I'm gonna be serious. I'm going to be serious.
Well, that's what we thought at the beginning of the episode. So,
well, to be fair, 104 is crazy. Like, yeah, I gave him his 10s. He gave himself his 10s.
Anyway,
I'm wrong? Y'all, I'm wrong? Let me know if I'm wrong. Exactly.
Okay, and then she's gonna turn the comments off.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah, so this week we are talking about what's going on in the country. You know, we've done well. We haven't brought anything up. There was a couple episodes in succession where we were talking about this administration and the effects that it was having on classical music, like back to back to back, because there was just so much news.
So many, yeah.
It was so many developments. I mean, there is another development. Did you see that they're no longer making the National Archives open to the public starting July 7th? They're closed. You have to have a legitimate business reason to go to the National Archives. So
is that where you were trying to go?
I was trying to go to the National Archives this year. I literally, when election day happened, I was like, yeah, so I need to go to DC. I need to go to the Smithsonian, National Museum of African American History and Culture, Library of Congress, National Archives. Those were my 3. So I have more time for the other 2. We'll see.
I'm about to say. I mean, yeah, but that's like next week.
Yeah.
What's in there that he wants to?
Bye, National Archives. I'm gonna set it on fire
On accident.
Right.
What's in there that he wants to make it private or business inquiries only?
Probably a lot of stuff because he only wants. I remember reading the statement that they put out when they was doing all that stuff was shutting down the entity that gives out money to libraries and museums and stuff like that. That they want stuff that only portrays America in a positive light. Which when we talk about National Archives, there ain't gonna be much of that in there. So
it's not much that portrays America in a positive light.
Like
ranch.
Like so
Chick-fil-A sauce. No, wait, no.
And especially when you think about like usually people who are archivists and stuff like that, like want to save everything. So there's gonna be a ton of stuff in there that's like I just hope that it survives. Like that they're not destroying anything.
Yeah.
Because some stuff you cannot get back. So
why are they so obsessed with portraying America in a positive light? Like, just odd to me.
Mm-hmm. But what has come up in the past couple months has been the ICE raids and the protests and things like that. So we want to talk about it on the show because it's happening all around us, and we want to talk about what that might mean for classical music. So obviously, like we said, if you don't know, everything that's been going on, they've been conducting sweeping raids all over, especially, we can only speak for Los Angeles because that's where we are, but I've been seeing all kinds of different places. There was one, they was grabbing people off the street, right up the street from my mom's house in Pasadena. Yeah, and so there's been a lot of stuff like that going on, and one of the big stories to come out of it was the threats to international students, that they were trying to, some people, they were looking at their social media, trying to see if they were pro-Palestine, all this stuff like that, and they were trying to revoke international student visas at Harvard. So yeah.
What happened with that? Because Harvard was like...
Yeah, Harvard is suing them. I think we're suing them too, the state of California. Lots of people are suing them.
Yeah, I mean, but it doesn't matter.
We'll see.
Because like, I mean, as much as I love TikTok, like that was supposed to be, and let's say they rolled it back and I didn't know.
I heard they were trying to ban it again. I don't know. So it's hard to keep up with all this stuff. I will say, yeah, we'll see how much it really matters because a case just made it to the Supreme Court, an immigration case where the Supreme Court, which is largely conservative now, ruled that they can deport people back to, I forget what they call them. It's not the term third world country, but it's third something. Mm-hmm. But basically countries that have like a do not travel, like Sudan or something like that, like they can now, despite there being significant evidence that you may be tortured or killed, if you were deported back to the country, they can still deport you back if you have a criminal record. So that was just decided in the Supreme Court. So, but yeah,
what we finna do?
That's really what it's giving.
Like, girl, that's why I'm just like, it's too much. It's too much. And like I saw, like the issue, one of the many issues is like people are using it. I can't say that on the show, but people are using it as a like racist people are using it as an opportunity to be bounty hunters. Like they're just buying like their little green vest and going up. I remember this, like I saw this video yesterday where this guy, like this poor man, was just like doing his job and like was frozen in fear when these 4 white men rolled up on him. Like they just had like these green vests on that said police, like that's all they had, and rolled up, and this bystander like was walking past and was like, no, like where's your badge? And he was like, my badge is right here, no badge in sight. And she was like, you might think I'm stupid, but like that's not a badge. I'm like, what's your badge? Whatever. And that man like could not move. He was just like there standing like so like scared, just
Y'all so damn stupid. You know that's a felony.
That's the thing.
A police officer.
That's why. And this white dude, because I guess there's like other people in the back that they were trying to round up too. And this white dude was walking by too, and he was like, "Absolutely the hell not! Like whatever. I'm finna call the police. Like you cannot impersonate a police officer." They had like police, and then like this dude, they were all in civilian clothes with masks on. I'm like, so we couldn't wear masks during COVID, but now we wear masks.
And they trying to pass a law in California that law enforcement can't wear masks.
Well, yeah. It needs to happen like ASAP, because they all wear masks and stuff like that, and sunglasses and long sleeves, because like whatever. And like this one dude, your tummy hanging over your jeans, and you over here, you a police. What police academy did you pass? You know what I'm saying? And this poor man is just standing there. He didn't move a muscle because he was so.
I'm sorry. It's like I heard it, and then I got it together, and I pictured it.
Hey, you know,
it fell apart.
Yeah, like what police officer is wearing a gray long sleeve shirt, jeans, the original KKK boots, and with tummy touching knee,
and no badge, Maybe you check under like
maybe he got lifted up on
with the pickles.
Like I was like, this poor man. I'm like, he's just a grown man who's paralyzed in fear.
Mm-hmm. And they like that. So I remember when I had to log off, because every now and then, vast majority, I've built my Twitter algorithm brick by brick. Every now and then something breaks through, but it's usually I go through a rabbit hole. Like usually not something on my For You page, but like I might click on somebody's profile and see what they be retweeting or something like that. And there was somebody who was like, I would pay money to see like deportations on live stream. I said, y'all, I can't even say on the mics what I think you deserve. I can't even say it. They'll be at my door. But just know, I wish you nothing but the worst.
I've been telling you, Satan is begging y'all to be a little nicer. Begging. He's begging y'all to be nicer. I'm like, they've been at capacity.
Like that's so insane to me.
That is so cruel.
That's sick.
That is so cruel.
I feel like when we had that one episode where I don't think I've ever cried on Classically Black. That was the closest I ever came, is the one we did right after George Floyd's funeral. And I was talking about like how there's like, okay, we connected a lot of stuff to classical music, but like we're also like, at the end of the day, like we are also like people, and stuff like this affects us as people before any of that. And I feel like that's one of the things that I thought about when I was kind of thinking through this episode is like, there are other ways that we'll talk about how we feel like this might affect classical music, but beyond that, it's like, what is this doing to the people who have families that this is affecting? You know, like people who are worried about their parents being able to go outside, people who are worried about themselves, like you've invested all this money to come to America to study, and now they talking about they trying to check people's social media and see if they've had any sort of what they consider anti-American stuff on their social media. Like, you're under a microscope. How the fuck are you supposed to go to a practice room? Like, what are we doing? And I feel like that's one thing we always, not just in classical music, because in general, because we literally had that whole pandemic, but it's like everybody love a business as usual. Some stuff business don't be as usual, like because it's like, y'all had us in virtual orchestra. Imagine you going to rehearsal and they expect you to pay attention. You got this going on in your background. Like, what we supposed to do?
It's a lot. I mean, also, I feel like everybody on edge because, you know, I got people in my family who, you know, they're here illegally, but something might have expired or whatever, and it's like not everybody a citizen, and like that's what they coming for next. There are people in my family who are not citizens. They just here with their stuff. It's like, it's like everybody on edge
when it's coming to time to renew stuff.
Right,
you don't know, even if you are here legally as a legal resident or have a green card or something like that, like.
And there was like, I had to also like step back from some of that stuff too. Like, obviously, like that's a privilege. I can just be like, I need a second. But like some of that fear mongering, like there was a whole bunch of rhetoric on my threads about how like they was pulling people aside at the border. If you've said like unsavory things about the government, I've never posted anything on my like me saying it, but I've said several things on the show I've said, I've repost stuff on TikTok, whatever. And they were talking about how they were pulling people. Like when I was coming back from Colombia, I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna get put aside, like because they were saying like how they was doing all this interrogation. They want to see on social media. They want to whatever at the border, at the airport. And I was like, it's just like crazy times right now. It's like everybody on pins and needles, and it's just like it did not have to be this way.
And also that they're exploring ways to, and I would say reasons to or a framework for revoking naturalized citizenship as well. So it's like
the fact that he did all of this in 6 months. Like, what are we really?
And the whole thing with Iran,
and you bombing around. Like, what's going on?
Like, it really just comes to a point.
And like, where'd that finna go? And I was watching some like those poor people. Like, can you imagine you just living your life?
Yeah.
Those are people you're bombing. It's not just like they think they just like. And it was at like Saturday morning or something, and it was like, well, I guess I'm gonna go get my reservation. Like I was planning. Like, what do you like? I don't know what I'm like. It was just it's just eerie. It's like I forgot where I was going when I found that out. I was like, yeah, I'm about to be late to my reservation. Like what am I supposed to do? I mean, pray about it. I mean, there's people there. I guess there's like there were like people at church on Sunday, like local house that has a lot of Persian members. Like their pastor was there, but it's just like you just feel helpless. Like, why are y'all bombing these people? And it's like, how is Iran gonna respond, and and also how it's gonna affect literally the entire world?
Yeah.
Because when you bomb my stuff, like apparently Iran control. I'm not a political person, but Iran, not like I don't know what really in depth will be going on. I want to be clear about that. Like obviously, I care about politics. It's not one of those, but Iran controls some type of strait that shipments be going out of, and they could be like, okay, well, fine, y'all want to bomb us? Like, ain't nothing coming up out of here, and then how that's gonna
ripple effect, because that's other countries gonna could start putting pressure on the U.S. All kind of stuff. I'm not a geopolitics person either.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So because it just gets to there's just so much to know.
There's so much to know as well.
Well, I want to talk about, because obviously like classical music, first of all, classical music is not in the way that we study it largely in America, is not an American art form, and even just like fundamentally in terms of like who we usually play and all that sort of thing. But also like when you look at classical music programs in the US, when you look at orchestras, like none of that is untouched by immigration, and so I wanted to talk about what effects you think this whole situation, this general sentiment around like immigration that's happening in the U.S. and also specifically those threats to international students will or could affect classical music.
I mean, I feel like people are going to stop wanting to study here. That might be one of the first things that we see on a smaller level, unless you already study here.
Which, yeah, that's another thing. I don't know. Because I feel like I don't know if I don't think the actual process will have changed at this point. But also, things have been seeming to move quicker with this administration. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be.
If we don't follow the rules, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I definitely see that. I see like ripple effects in the industry, because it's like we have great classical musicians who are Americans, but it's like just like anything else, especially in this country, like everything is enriched by the fact that people come here and contribute, like. And if you de-incentivize that, then like everything's gonna be worse.
Yeah.
Everything. And it's not because we like. It's not even on no. Like, I think we talked about this when we were like pre-discussing this. It's weird because some people would say that, well, if it's not, we should have Americans doing X, Y, and Z instead of whatever. But it's like, it's not that. It's that why I say, especially in this country, is because this country was, after y'all slaughtered Native Americans and then enslaved Black people, this country was built on immigrants, like, it was built on a lot of people's blood and backs. But, and then to have what America is today is the result of like a lot of different cultures coming together and building it. So it's like, that's why I say, especially in this country, everything is like, it's not going to be as enriched, because like, I don't know what do you're trying to build a white ethno state is what they're trying to do, which I'm like, y'all gonna learn this ain't even, that's not even tea, like y'all ain't even got it like that, like respectfully. Like, it's not gonna be fun. Well, y'all guess they don't care if it's fun for anybody but y'all, but it's like kind of insane. Y'all will learn that, because it's really not like we're talking about immigration right now, but it's like, what it really comes down to with this administration is anybody who's not white. That's really what it comes down to. And y'all gonna learn that a lot of stuff that y'all know and love is because people who are not white. Damn near everything.
Like, I'm about to say, whoa, I be saying something on concoctions, and I was like, I'm so happy I'm Black. Tea for me. I mean, yeah, I just feel like we're looking. I hate that doom stuff, but I really feel like we're looking at some really dark times. I'm really hoping that, like, I don't know. I hope it's not as bad as it could get, but like, it's just like how quickly everything is moving, how it's just not looking good.
Yeah. Well,
like, I think about all the people I study with at Eastman. Like, my friend from China, like, that was my girl. Like, it just makes the experience better. Like, we're better when we are learning from different people. Like, everybody has a different point of departure. Like,
yeah, I'm like, y'all going. I mean, like I said, lots of great musicians here everywhere, but I'm like, a lot of it's gonna be tea. Like, when I went to Mexico, I was like, oh, y'all do classical music different over here. Like, So it's just like that's why if I had kept playing, what I would have done, I would have went to Brazil, and I had a teacher I would have studied with in Brazil, and I would have been like, whatever. Like, it's just, yeah, people come at it from different perspectives, and it's just like, y'all, I don't understand. I'll never understand. Can't make sense out of nonsense. But yeah,
we're gonna see. But prayers to everyone's affected, especially our listeners, if you know anyone.
Mm-hmm. Well, wish we had something happier to end the episode on. Well, we do. Black excellence.
Oh,
and the piece of the week, and the outro, things like that. But in terms of the topic, and I'll see what I can find in terms of things to link in the description. I'm sure people have come up with like resources and stuff like that. I know there's been a lot of community organizing in Los Angeles as well, in terms of letting people know where they're spotting ICE agents and stuff like that. Yeah,
I'm gonna get through it. Got to.
Yeah, it's the alternative. So.
Anyway, it's time for Black Excellence, where we hype you up, gas you up, and give you your props. There's room for everyone at the top. This week I'm talking about Lexi Holloway, Alexis Ligon. Holloway? Ligon? Sorry, girl. Anyway, doctor, I should say, because she recently graduated from Duke. And she is an anthropologist. And her research explores how the mechanisms of white supremacy operate in classical music performance, examining how racial and aesthetic hierarchies position Black bodies as aberrant in these spaces. These are big words for Elmo. She's also a filmmaker and documentary. Oh, y'all could. But as a filmmaker, she produced a multimodal dissertation consisting of a written portion and an accompanying documentary that attends to the oral and performative aspects of her research. So shout out to you, Dr. Lexi Ligon Holloway, and your big words and stuff and your accomplishments.
All right. And my piece of the week is Mirabella, or Mirabella, probably Bella because he's black, by Noel Pointer, who we haven't talked about, but shout out to Noel Pointer. Every now and then I go back to his music, so yeah.
Period. Well, thank you so much for listening to Classically Black Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Classically Black Podcast. Join the Ebony Tower. We should have said that at the beginning. So that's patreon.com/Classically Black Podcast. Thanks for listening. Oh, follow us on social media at Classically Black Podcast. I think I said that already. Anyway, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.